Right, here we go. Growing with grief. So that is our theme for this year. Next slide, please, Emma. So, growing with grief. This year, National Grief Awareness Week, brought to us by the Good Grief Trust, is focusing on the idea of growing with grief. We're working together to find ways to become stronger, healthier, and laying down roots for the future. Losing a loved one feels like an ending in so many ways, but in time, it can also become the ground from which something new begins. After that loss, we can't go back to who we were, but instead, we can grow into someone new, shaped by love, memories, and resilience. This growth doesn't erase the pain, but it allows hope to return. We may even become more present, more compassionate, more aware of what truly matters in life. Thanks, Emma.
Chat to Simon Tranter this morning.
So, what we'd love you all to do this year is to plant a seed. So, a flower seed mirrors grief. Planted in darkness, it slowly changes, growing into something new while still holding its origins. Like a seed becoming a flower, grief can transform into resilience and beauty shaped by loss. And we know that many people obviously have flowers and plants in memory of someone very special. So we wanted this year to go back to nature. We want to be able to find those roots from the people who have died, but know from new shoots, really. And with the support that we get, we can find new hope going forward, and there's new life. So we would love everybody to take a packet of seeds. We will be creating a Good Grief campaign pack for 2025 that you'll be able to access. Take the seeds, plant them in a little pot, ready for the spring to shoot, or out in the garden, wherever you want. And what we're going to be doing, maybe Emma would like to share the next slide.
So your preferred partner for NAFD members?
Thanks, Emma.
I can hear someone talking in the background. I think it's John Adams. Can we get him on mute? Because it's very distracting.
Yes, Emma, can you ask John? Thanks very much. So basically, this social media campaign will be following the flower's growth, which can gently reflect the grief journey, showing healing through slow transformation from seed to bloom. Each update offers reflection and hope while fostering connection as people share experiences and find comfort in a shared symbol of resilience. Emma, I think if you can go back to the last slide with the photography competition. Yeah, brilliant. So what we're going to be doing, once the seeds are out with everybody, you've all got a pack of seeds. What we'd love to be able to make sure that this isn't just a campaign for Christmas. We want to make sure that everyone feels connected throughout the whole year. So we would love to launch this flower photography competition, which can support those grieving by offering a gentle way to express emotions and honor loved ones. So capturing flowers as symbols of growth, beauty, and renewal helps channel grief into creativity, while sharing photos fosters connection, remembrance, and a sense of not being alone in the healing journey. So we thought it might be a nice idea, once everyone has the seeds, to plant them. And as we go through the weeks and through the months, that we actually share those photos with each other on social media. It can be the little seeds that we supply, or it can be your own plants in your own garden, on your patio, down by, maybe perhaps in the cemetery or in the crematoria, maybe where you've scattered little seeds, perhaps even in the past. We'd love to be able to just see the photographs so that we feel connected as we go through the year. Thanks, Emma. So we will be providing a little branded National Grief Awareness Week weekly planner. So this custom weekly planner can provide gentle structure during grief, helping restore routine, track emotions, and include self-care. By breaking tasks into steps and holding space for rituals or anniversaries, it becomes a compassionate guide for healing, not just productivity. So we thought once we send out these little packs, we've got the seeds and we've got a planner inside. You can mark those anniversaries. Perhaps it's a birthday, perhaps it's the death anniversary, perhaps it's a special moment in the year. And if you make a little note in the diary, and also perhaps maybe download some photographs, you can stick them in there, you can keep them as a little scrapbook. We thought it's a really nice little keepsake that you can have, or maybe give to others as well, in friends and family, so that they can also make notes as we go along, because we know that also journaling and making little notes after you've lost somebody can be really cathartic. So we thought we'd supply you with this little planner that will be available probably the end of next month, leading up to National Grief Awareness Week. Thanks, Emma. So the events that you always put together are always incredible. So that could be the bereaved getting together, or it can be professionals within hospital trusts, GP practices, funeral directors. We know so many people now get on board with National Grief Awareness Week, which is now in its 7th year. So this year, as it's all about nature, we thought we'd get out into the outdoors, into that really fresh, open environment where often we can find a lot of solace. So we would love to organise walk and talk events. And in a moment, we've got a couple of speakers talking about that and the benefit of coming together as a community. So a walk and talk offers healing through movement, connection and purpose. Being in nature provides calm, while walking with friends or community opens spaces for support. Physical activity reduces stress and boosts endorphins. And a sponsored walk can add meaning by raising funds in a memory of a loved one. So again, this will give an opportunity for all those charities under our umbrella and elsewhere to maybe raise their own profile, make sure that it get out onto social media, put together a walk and talk event for your own charity, for your own support service, or for us at the Good Grief Trust. You know, everybody really needs that support during the week and beyond. So please do get together and organise a lovely event within your own organisation and your community. And again, we're going to hear from the speakers about how best to do that and maybe give you some ideas. Thanks, Emma. So here are our lovely campaign posters. So we've got the landscape one, and we've also got the portrait. These will be available to download along with all the other assets on National Grief Awareness Week website, probably by the end of this week. So as always, please do download them, print them off, put them up on your GP practices, on the walls, wherever you happen to be having your events. Share them far and wide, and you're most welcome to put your own branding on them, your own logos, and just to share what you'll be doing during the campaign. Thanks, Emma. So our T-shirts are always really popular. We love the park runs that Mortlake Crematorium put together for us at the Good Grief Trust every year, and everyone gets out with a T-shirt and obviously tries to promote the campaign visually. So we have a couple of options this year. We're going to have the orange T-shirts so that if it's chilly and you've got a coat on, you've still got that logo in front so everyone can see what you're raising your funds for. And we've also got a blue version, haven't we, Emma? Thank you. So they will be available to order. So please do order your T-shirts and we can get those out to you as soon as possible. Thanks, Michelle. She's saying they're lovely. That's really kind of you. Thank you. We'd love to hear all your comments as we go along, by the way. Our team works so hard on this campaign every year and we're desperate to launch it for you. So apologies about the glitch earlier, but we know that you're all so supportive and so passionate about trying to open up those conversations during National Grief Awareness Week. But also this year, we're really passionate to continue the conversations, not just between the 2nd and the 8th of December, into January, February, March, with the photography competition, with sharing on social media what you're up to and the little seeds that might be sprouting their new little shoots. Thanks, Emma. So Light Up. Very excited, as always, to light the country orange during National Grief Awareness Week. So at 6 p.m. on the 8th of December, which is the final day of the campaign, we would love you to help us light the country orange. Now, we have so many incredible landmark buildings that light up already. Here you can see this is an image from last year. We invested in a drone for the first time ever, and it flew around Blackpool. And the moment that Blackpool Tower lit up, it got these incredible images, and we have so many more to share. So Blackpool Tower lights up. We've got the Liver building this year in Liverpool, as always. The St George's Hall in Liverpool will be lighting up. Cardiff Castle, I'm sure, will light up again, courtesy of our lovely ambassador Jules, who does that for us every year. We've got Jenny coming on line in a moment to talk about how she's encouraged people at the Isle of Wight to light up. So if you have a landmark building locally, please do get in touch. Jenny has kindly volunteered to be the contact and the go-to. So please do get in touch with Jenny there. Her email is there. Please make a note of it. But as I say, the slides will be available on the website anyway. So Jenny is kindly offering this year to be our contact. So if you have any questions, how do we do it? What do we do? Just get in touch with Jenny, and she's very kindly said she will help. Thanks, Emma. So these are just our call to action. Obviously, get in touch with us at hello@thegoodgrieftrust.org. We're here to answer any questions. So please do start sending us details. We've already seen there's some events happening during National Grief Awareness Week. You've already got some cafes and bits and pieces already organised. So please do send that to us. We can collate the whole thing, put it onto National Grief Awareness Week website. When you get your walk and talk events organised, please let us know dates, time and venue. And if you would love the public to invite the public to join you, we can obviously help with that. The light up, yes, let us know when that's happening. Please do start sharing your photos, even the little photos of you scattering seeds into the little pots or out into the garden. We will make sure that those seeds that we give you in December are correct for the time of year, so you can plant them then. We are obviously on social media. We've got over 200,000 followers. So if you are a small charity or an organization that needs a profile and needs help during National Grief Awareness Week, please do tag us in and we will share everything you're doing. We've got Instagram here, Facebook, and of course X. But we've also got YouTube, so have a look on all our channels. And then the final slide from Emma. Save the date. So we have got a very exciting event. Last year, we all came together down here where I'm based in Bournemouth, and it was hosted by Bournemouth Football Ground, and it was absolutely wonderful. We had singing, we actually had dancing as well. We had a 3-course meal, and this year we're going into London. So please do save the date. We will be able to share more details literally next week. We're launching on Monday exactly what's happening, but it's on Sunday the 7th of December. It's in central London from 6 p.m. onwards, and all are welcome. So please do put that date in your diary. It's a very exciting film screening event, and we would love you all to join us to celebrate one of the final days of National Grief Awareness Week. So that's the end of the PowerPoint. Thank you, Emma. Amazing. So thank you so much for listening to that. As I say, if you've got any questions, please do keep putting them in the chat and I'll take a look. But now I would like to introduce our first speaker. So we've got Vihari Russell. Where's Vihari?
Hi.
Hi, Vihari. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm not sure, maybe some of you have seen Vihari on television. She's been interviewed about her incredible initiative that she's put together. Sadly, Vihari lost her brother, and she will obviously be able to explain more in more detail, but she is planting 10,000 trees a year in his memory. She has some incredibly ambitious targets, and it's all exactly what we're trying to achieve this year, getting out, remembering that person who perhaps has died in your family or your friendship group, and honouring them in the way that maybe is right for them. And I know that that was actually quite pertinent with Vihari losing her brother. So over to you, Vihari. Please tell us your story.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my brother died 7 years ago next month of sudden adult death syndrome. So he was out windsurfing. We didn't know anything was wrong with him, and the next thing he had passed away, and there was nothing anyone could do. Rory was a carpenter and died at the age of 37. So I wanted to plant back all the trees that he had used in his carpentry, was my initial thought. And we set a goal of planting 10,000 per year. Since that point, in 4.5 years, we've planted 40,050. And I've been spending a lot of time yesterday and this morning working out our next planting project. So we are about to plant between October and March this year and next year. And that will see us plant another 30,000 across the UK and Ireland. One of the most exciting projects that will come to fruition by the end of March next year is that we'll be planting Rory's Wood up at Grafham Water. So that's planting a brand new wood of 15,862 trees around Grafham Water and joining up the woodland around there. And we're inviting people to plant a tree in memory of their loved one, and then we will create a wall of names in memory of, and we're hoping with Linda's help to put in a good grief bench there as well, so people can pause and reflect. And that will then have a bug hotel on the other side of everybody's name. So for me, it's been a really cathartic journey on helping me through my grief. I've lost my dad to a brain tumor, but I had time to say goodbye to him, and nothing prepares you for the phone call on a train to tell you that your brother's dead. So it's been, I've met people, I met Katie Piper, which I never thought would happen. I've planted trees in the most far-flung locations with the most amazing people who've shared their stories. I think as a nation, we're really good at putting a lid on grief and just going, it's fine, I'm stoic, I can get on with it. It's okay not to be okay with it. It's okay to hear a song and just burst into tears, or be talking about trees and just being really passionate, and people then coming up to you and saying their story. I think we can all, everyone's grief is completely different, and every day with grief is completely different, but what we can do is grow together. And I think planting trees and hedging has given me the power to connect people, and it feels like Rory's left me a little superpower cloak that has enabled me to make a difference. We're working towards planting 100,000 trees by my next significant birthday. I'm not going to declare how old I'm going to be, but yeah, so I've got 2 years. So by 2027, I want to have 100,000 trees in the ground that we've planted. So yeah, and I don't know how many more minutes I've got left, but I knew I I'm going quick timeline.
Oh, it's just incredible. As Fahari said, she was on Katie Piper's program, which it was so inspirational listening to your story. And I'm sure that resonated with so many people. But for us to get out into nature, recently I went on a retreat, and the ladies there, went off and we went into the woods and they were hugging trees, and we were all it was just such a serene, beautifully calm, sort of invigorating, energizing space. It's just got everything, hasn't it? I think when you get out into nature, particularly with other people. So what sort of thoughts that you've got, what will you be doing actually during the week? What are you thinking? Will you be having a walk and talk through your trees?
Definitely. And we have just announced that we've been chosen as a charity partner for Huntingdon Racecourse, and we're doing nature walks with them. So we are penciling in to do a corporate walk and nature walk through the site and around the racecourse that week. And then we have got a lot of tree planting in and around that week as well. So I will be mainly wearing waterproof clothing and being outside. So there's an awful lot to do in December. Sadly, you can't plant trees in the nicest weather of the year, but if people do want to plant a tree and grow it in addition to the seeds that you're suggesting, now's the time to get out and pick up an acorn. It's a mass year, so there are thousands literally lying on the ground. And if you want to plant an acorn and grow a beautiful oak tree in memory of someone very special, then that's a really lovely thing to do.
Wow, that would be incredible. So maybe actually during this, the lead up to it, and maybe during the campaign, perhaps you could help us, Fahari, and maybe give us a few lines, that we can share on the website if somebody actually wants to do that. you know, some sort of the best way to do it, if there's any tips and hints maybe to help people, because to have the variety and the choice would be lovely for people to be able to choose what they want to plant as well. Obviously, we'll be providing the seeds, but it's lovely to be able to plant a tree. Gosh, maybe we do a tree as well. You know, it's
we would need to plant them. So we run a campaign called Planttober, which encourages people to plant a tree seed in October. But I certainly share the tips and advice. So maybe we start a little bit earlier to get the trees ready, and then enjoy the flowers and their abundance through good grief. Through the week.
Amazing. Well, you've got lots of admirers in the chat who are all saying this is just an incredible, and congratulations to everything that you're doing, Vihari. So thank you for coming on board. Congratulations with your new partnership. That's very exciting. So please do keep putting questions into the chat. I'm sure Vihari will answer those. And it's just such an incredible initiative, and something that's so worthwhile and hopefully inspirational, so that other people can get on board as well. So yeah, amazing. Thank you. And Vihari mentioned plaques, by the way. So these are our Help and Hope plaques. And again, if anyone is interested in these, to put them on benches, their own memorial benches, or to go out into the community and find benches that you can put them on, they've got a little QR code on there, direct back to the Good Grief Trust. So there are still so many people up and down the country who are grieving, who don't know where to turn for support. And if we can make sure that all those little touch points around, outside, inside, people know where to go, that's incredibly important. So Charlie, do we have Charlie, our PR team, on board here? He's going to come on.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey there.
Good morning. Hi. Thank you for joining us. This is Charlie, who's managing our PR this year for the campaign alongside Trudy. So maybe just fill us in. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you. Yes, my name's Charlie, and I own Like Minded PR, and we're going to be providing PR communication support to the Trust this year. So I'm going to share some of the plans over the different elements of the campaign leading up to National Grief Awareness Week, which is might be repeating a bit, but we're just going to go into a bit of detail about how we're going to do it. So we're going to launch this media strategy, which will go across broadcast, podcast, print, and social media. So it will centre on engaging with journalists, Trust ambassadors, broadcast and podcast hosts, celebrities and content creators to help amplify the messaging and reach new audiences who need support during the journey. So to start with, there's The Help and Hope in One Little Book by Anne O'Malley, which is the book that's just launched. So from a PR side, we'll be mainly pushing this hopefully through the Trust ambassadors, and maybe gifting them a book and asking them to share either on their Instagram page or on their stories. Also with a link to buy the book to reach new and varied audiences across differing social media platforms. And then touching on the Growing of Seeds initiative. Again, this will be a gifting campaign as well as press releases. So gifting the seeds to celebrities and content creators who talk about grief and who'd be willing to share this campaign, encouraging them to share the messaging and the symbolic act of planting and nurturing, which connects beautifully with the grief healing process. So we're also going to launch the photography competition across social media and through press releases, and hopefully through some print media, through which Linda will be doing some interviews with different titles for us. And then there's the Walk and Talk campaign, which again will be done through getting Linda onto some of the podcasts, and maybe some of our other ambassadors who are willing to support through podcasts and broadcast media, who are also really supportive of the campaign through previous years. And then through National Grief Awareness Week, we will be promoting the ticketed screening, which will be shared next week, which will obviously create an intimate space for community connection and awareness. And then we'll also be helping to push and promote the lighting up of the different iconic buildings up and down the UK on the 8th of December. So yes, that's us. It's myself and Trudy. So anything you want to ask us, I think our email details are on the Good Grief Trust website. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, we're always incredibly fortunate to get a lot of press and media interest during the campaign. Many radio stations do cover National Grief Awareness Week. So please do, if you have anything particular that you'd like us to share and try and promote for you, just let us know, and we'll try and get it out there in regional radio stations and national, of course. So next on our list is the lovely Justine from Rowland Brothers. And we've been working with Justine. They're a London-based funeral director, and they are incredibly compassionate. They have a number of funeral homes where they look after those people who are obviously grieving very early days, but also continuing with events. So welcome, Justine. Let's talk about your lovely walk and talk events.
Hello. So my name is Justine, and I'm a bereavement counsellor with the Rowland Brothers Foundation, which is a separate charity, but we're funded by 12 funeral directors in Croydon, the Rowland Brothers funeral business. So my story around the walk and talks is I'm a bereavement counsellor with them, but I sadly lost my two best friends over the space of a year, and I walked with them. I did most of my fitness with them. And I went through a period of time where I was really lost. But I got to a point where I thought, right, I've got to step out of my comfort zone. And I seem to have lost the camera. What's happened there?
We can see you.
Oh, you can? It's gone red.
Yeah, can see you.
So what happened was I joined a walking group and didn't say what I did for a living, and everybody during the walk was telling me their life stories. I was just amazed. I thought, this is incredible. Luckily for me, I have fantastic trustees of our charity. I went back to them and said to them, I'd really like to try this walk and talk for bereavement. And they said, absolutely. So pretty much within a month, we were getting going. I very luckily have my volunteer with me today. So he joined one of our other groups, but during the group, I found out that he was a scout of how many years? 50 years a scout. So wow. Very, very useful with a map, very useful with routes, just very useful. And he'd recently retired. Very sadly lost his wife, and that's how he came to us. So I was looking for activities, and so he now helps me run the groups. So we walk every Thursday, every weather. So I sort of think about, my dad was northern, and he used to say there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes. So we've decided that we will walk in all weathers apart from ice. That's the nemesis. We can't walk in ice. But we walk in rain. Even when we had the heat wave, we just adjust the route so that we're under the tree canopy. When it's particularly rainy, we choose a route that has good paths. So yeah, that's pretty much how we started. So we've been running now about 18 months. Yep. Yeah. So we've been through every season. Sometimes we think we must be bonkers, but when we first started, we thought we'd do 1 hour. But actually, people wanted more. So now we do 2 hours. We walk around 5 miles every week, and we always end with a cup of tea somewhere. Sometimes it's sometimes that's the reason that we do a particular route, is because they like the food at that particular cafe. So my lovely volunteer Neil, he also was a chef. So he often bakes us lovely cakes for the end. So we walk, we talk, and then we commune. When we first started, we had about 5 regulars. Now it can be anything up to 15, 18, 20. So that was happening last year. It kind of evolved into me deciding that we would do a fundraiser, of which we fundraised for the Good Reef Trust as well as ourselves. We're a self-funded charity, so we look for all sorts of revenue streams, as every charity does. So we thought we'd build on our walk and talk, and we would take on a challenge. So last June, we walked the Surrey 3 Peaks, but we did the linear version. There's a circular version, but we did the linear version, which is Box Hill, Leith Hill, and then Holmbury Hill. There was 20 of us.
Yes, and we also joined with another group.
Yeah, so we took on the challenge with a hiking group lead, which is more exciting news. I'm actually taking that exam soon, so I will be a hiking lead. So I can take groups safely out ourselves. So the usual walk you don't need to be qualified for. Actually, if anyone's got any questions about how you legally take a walk and talk, please just reach out. Sorry about that. So we did the Surrey Three Peaks. There was 20 of us, mixed abilities. It was a real wonderful day of camaraderie, everybody getting together to get up the hills. It was really amazing. And we raised lots of money, and I'm hoping to build that and build momentum with that, and keep going along. And next year, think of another challenge. Lots of input from everybody that wants to do it with me, deciding on whether we do a coastal path or whether we do a London path. We're not sure yet, but it's all exciting. We're really looking forward to getting that final planning meeting in and making a decision about what we're going to do. So yeah, it's really exciting. So that's us. So do you want to say about your journey with us?
I lost my wife on June 3rd, 2023, and I went to Rowland Brothers for the funeral and met Justine, and been with her ever since. She's been really, really good. We started off sort of just counselling, and then we came up with the walking group. So I'm still here.
Baking cake and walking with us in the pouring rain, or on any kind of weather. We're still there, and people really. Sorry, hang on just 1 second. Sorry, we just had some group members come into the room, so I run a group on a Wednesday. Sorry.
All right.
So yeah, so every week you're with us, haven't you? So,
so what's your name?
Neil.
Neil. Well, it just sounds like, I mean, this is, I think, what is so helpful, isn't it? When maybe you feel, well, there's many people who feel quite isolated in their grief, and we know that by getting out into nature and particularly exercise, isn't it, with other people and chatting, and maybe not sitting in a room and having that sort of clinical feeling, but just that sort of really natural feeling about just chatting and walking, and obviously the cup of tea and a cake at the end of it is very important.
We've noticed with some of our members that when we first started doing the hour, they were all that, yeah, we're fine with that. So because of the time of day that we walk, it's around sort of 11 o'clock. So a lot of the people that join our walk are retired. Some of them are quite elderly, and they started off with an hour, and now they want more and more and more. And they've been actually going out walking at the weekends with their friends and family, and they're really proud of the fact that they can get 6 miles in, and we've got a WhatsApp group, and everyone encourages each other. And you know, people think a grief talk, everyone's going to be sort of really sad, but it's absolutely not. They're really uplifting. And there's last New Year's Eve, the walking group spent together. I was just so pleased with cheese.
Oh gosh, that is just absolute the way that we need to go, isn't it? That's the whole point of it. Was like a couple of years ago we did Better Together cafes, and from that people have created their own friendship groups within their community, you know, literally just by meeting someone for a cup of tea and sharing a phone number and saying, do you fancy a walk, and you know, or do you fancy going to the garden centre, whatever. It's just finding your little connection in your little community that you know is there for you. Thank you so much, Neil and Justine. Thank you for everything you do in Croydon and the network around you. And yeah, if you're there to answer any questions, that would be brilliant. Thank you, Justine. And Justine and the Rowland Brothers, as are a few people actually on the call, were Shine a Light Award nominees last year, because we did Shine a Light as our theme. And we've had some incredible volunteers and organisations across the UK who are doing amazing things. So thank you so much to you guys up there as well, or down there. So thank you. Sophie Akris from David Lloyd Peterborough. So
Hello.
Trust, hello, welcome. So the Good Grief Trust have recently partnered with David Lloyd, who are a wonderful health and fitness organisation across the UK. They're nationwide. They've got over 800,000 members, award-winning. But we were really passionate because the heart of the organisation is about connection, really. It's about trying to feel healthy, feel as though you're actually belong to a club, that you find other people in your community who are like-minded. So yeah, we're really lucky to be able to partner with people like Sophie up in Peterborough. And what are you going to be doing for Christmas for us, Sophie?
Yes, yeah, so thank you so much for having me on today. Yeah, so obviously I can just talk about Peterborough at the moment. I'm not too sure, obviously, we've got like 134 clubs. I'm not too sure what other people are doing, but here at Peterborough, we thought that we love the walk idea, particularly because right next to David Lloyd Peterborough is our one of the largest county parks in our region, called Ferry Meadows. So what we're going to do is really just encourage a member-led walk. Probably going to go more for a weekend, just to try and optimize as many people able to attend as possible. Yeah, and just all go for a walk. We really just wanted to really concentrate on community and just bringing people together. So yeah, we've kind of done that. We wanted to try and also make it a little bit light. So we're even, because we know it's going to be so cold, we were even looking at maybe some little orange, bobble hats, just to kind of bring the brand in as well together for Good Grief Trust. And then, yeah, just hopefully then afterwards, I'm really glad Justine said about cake and tea and stuff, because I persuaded our manager in our lounge area to provide hot chocolates and mince pies for everyone afterwards as well. But I think our main point was let's kind of see how this goes, because I don't just want to keep it for just 1 week. If it is something that people have a great time and is helpful and, bringing them connections together. So we might actually trial it for every week in December and kind of see how that goes. And then, obviously then if it does work well, then we can just continue it every week. So yeah, I think that's just more really kind of what we're just going to really try and concentrate on. We were hoping as well just to get some of your pins and potentially even umbrellas with, the weather, just as well to have, to kind of sell, obviously money going directly to yourselves, so that then there's still that element of, fundraising, but concentrating more on community and bringing people together.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie, because as you say, I think it's so important for a brand like David Lloyd, who have the opportunity to reach so many thousands of people. And I know from the experience that I've had in my local clubs down here in the south in Dorset, that we've run pop-up cafes down here. We've had cafes in the North London clubs as well. And those people, many of them are joining a club, a health and fitness club, because they have lost someone. They need to find their way back. They need to find connection. Maybe their health has been suffered. We've met many people who have lost a husband or a wife or a parent, and maybe their eating habits have just been affected really badly, and they want to feel healthy. They want to carry on with life, but they need to find hope, and they find that through connection with other people, particularly in that healthy environment. So I think a walk and talk would be absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much for raising funds for the Good Grief Trust, but hopefully it will inspire other organisations to do the same for their own organisation. And we know little plaques.
Linda,
Yes, sorry.
It's Luke. Could I
Hi,
quickly
Luke.
just
Yeah,
jump
welcome,
in?
Luke.
Hi, thanks, Sophie. Hi, everyone. I'm Luke. I'm head of community at David Lloyd Clubs. Thanks, Sophie, for that update. I just wanted to just touch a little bit on, because this has really been going by Linda anyway, because Linda's a member and, she's done so much great stuff across our London clubs as well. But I think one of the big things that's really important to us is raising awareness of the organisation as well, which we've been trying to do quite a lot. And during, I think it was August, Linda, you know this better than me, on our D6 screens, we gave up £18,000 worth of advertising space to try and raise awareness around the cause. And I just think that it's growing so organically within our actual business. Like Sophie said, we've got 135 clubs across our business, and Linda's slowly getting involved with them all. And it's amazing to see. So I just want to say thanks ever so much, Linda, for reaching out and linking up with us.
No, well, thank you, Luke, for the opportunity, and everyone online. I mean, it's also brings in the family. It's a whole such an array of demographic in these clubs, but also obviously in the community. So we hope that the theme of growing with grief, where those children can also, within schools, within universities, within their own communities, take the seed packets, grow them maybe in memory of someone who's died within their class or their network. And it really opens up that sort of opportunity for everybody to get involved this year. I think it's we hope that you really enjoy this campaign. It's hopefully going to be very creative for people, but getting out there in the fresh air can only do us good, basically. So put your t-shirts on, put your coats on, and get out if you can. So after Peterborough, or alongside Peterborough, we've got some lovely ambassadors for the Good Grief Trust. We've got Angela and we've got Roger, who helped us earlier in the year, and they will be putting together, hopefully, a local walk and talk as well. I don't know, Roger and Ange, if you'll unmute yourselves, maybe inspire people about how to put together a walk and talk.
Okay,
Hello.
we're there.
Ah, there you go. Morning.
Yes, yes, we were obviously interested to see Sophie. I have met her with yourself, I believe, when we went, well, earlier on in the year. I'd be very interested with getting together with David Lloyd or Sophie and see if we can develop some fundraising efforts. The walk and talk is obviously one that we would look to probably organise in December with her. And we have recently, as you know, raised some significant amount of money organising a race night, which probably we could talk along the lines of doing something like that at a David Lloyd club, if that was at all possible. But just to meet up with Sophie and have a chat about it would be absolutely splendid.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And I mean, volunteers like yourselves, out in the community, trying to help charities, not just the Good Grief Trust, but all those charities up and down the country. As I said, we brought together so many last year for the Shine a Light Awards, and it was evident that people are just working so hard to help their own community thrive and survive, really. So it only, we can't do it without people like you. So thank you to Roger and Angela and to all our volunteers up and down the country, really. So please do get out during National Grief Awareness Week and do what you can for your local community. At this point, I want to bring in, thank you, Roger and Angela, I want to bring in Jules Lewis, who's our ambassador, who's lead bereavement nurse at Shrewsbury and Telford Hospital Trust. So just to hear what the hospitals maybe will be doing during National Grief Awareness Week would be lovely, Jules. Oh, not sure.
Sorry, I had trouble unmuting.
That's all right. Hi. Lovely to see you. Good morning.
Well, I'm with two shy people.
Oh, hello, shy people.
Because I obviously am here as an ambassador and will speak, but these lovely people will help me. So I needed you to see them on camera. But I'm just inspired by everybody. It's just amazing. And like you, Justine and Neil, I was born in Wales, so probably born with a cagoule on. So we will be out there doing our walk and talks, whatever the weather. But yeah, just to tell you a little bit about what we're planning for National Grief Awareness Week. We're very excited because I love this theme about growing with grief, because I am somebody that loves to get outside amongst nature. So we are relaunching our Swan volunteer companions with the chaplaincy team. So myself and the chaplaincy team and the team here are working together to have relaunching, really, post-COVID, our Swan volunteer companions to sit with people at end of life. So the training is happening in October, and then we hope to relaunch it obviously during National Grief Awareness Week. So these are volunteers that will act as a companion to people who are at end of life, for family to go home and have a break, or if there's no family locally that can sit with them. but it might just be so they can go and have a cup of tea or get out for a walk and sit on a bench, because we've been very lucky to fund about 50% of our benches with the plaques on, you know, the Good Grief Trust plaques. So that's what we're planning. We have got a staff bereavement support cafe during the week, and that's on the 2nd of December. And we've asked Linda for a quote because we love this little book, and we're hoping that we'll be able to give out our staff that book during National Grief Awareness Week when they come to the cafe, and we'll have our Tree of Hope as well, so that we'll put a message on the Tree of Hope for our loved one. We will light up in Orange, some nice places in Shropshire, not as nice as Wales, but I will get Cardiff Castle involved, and we've got some lovely buildings here in Shropshire that we will make sure are lit up in Orange. We're also working really hard with the councillors locally. Heather Pitchford, one of our wonderful volunteers, Jules Locke is also one of our brilliant volunteers. Heather did the Edinburgh Marathon and raised money to buy 20 Good Grief Trust plaques, and we're putting those out in Shropshire, on Shropshire benches. We've put 5, so we're a quarter of the way, and we're hoping that we'll get them all done and photographs of them, us sitting on them, etc. during National Grief Awareness Week. So that'll be something we'll be doing. And I'm working with Charlotte Roberts, who is a cruise volunteer, works with the bereaved. She's also a teacher as well. She's a friend of mine. Well, I'm actually friends with her husband, but they lost a child many years ago, and we have become friends now, his wife, Charlotte. So we're working together, and we've got our first walk and talk in Shropshire next Tuesday night at 6:15. So that's our trial walk. And we are hoping that by the time we get to National Grief Awareness Week, we will be fully up and running. But because we've organised them here at the hospital, we've got that safety mechanism in place, and we know how to signpost, etc. So we're going out into the community to do them now. And Linda, you'll remember when we were very lucky enough to host you in May, we took you to the quarry in Shrewsbury. And we will be walking around the quarry. Obviously, we're going into winter months, so we're going to have to plan some daytime walks over the winter period, and then go back to the evening walks, spring, summer and autumn. And I think that is probably all at the moment, but I will definitely do my very best to be with you in London as well on the 7th of December. In fact, I'm pretty much definitely coming.
We'll have an event without you, Jules.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm inspired by everybody. It's just been amazing. And what a lovely campaign to be part of.
Well, you know, Jules and I were at the Royal Windsor Flower Show again this year, and that's a place where we launched our plaques 2 years ago. And since then, we've got now 1,000 plaques. We've just received an order of our 1,000th plaque. And they're on benches and there's seats across the UK. And Jules and I stood at the bottom of a tree in the most beautiful Windsor Great Park. And actually, to be honest, that was sort of part of our inspiration, is where the theme came from, because getting together, you know, and having the roots of those people who we've lost still with us, but know that actually new shoots can grow from that depth of despair. We can find new hope by doing this, coming together as friends, as neighbours, as the community, and those little support systems can grow, and you can find new life. And what we want people to do to know that there is hope going forward. So please do join in this campaign. And our final lovely speaker is our ambassador. Thank you, Jules. Our ambassador in Isle of Wight, who is our lovely volunteer and one of our Shine a Light winners. I've got all
yeah.
Now.
Oh,
don't know why.
I don't know why. Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm on the Isle of Wight, as Linda said. And yes, I was an award winner last year, and I was very proud to be, and very proud to work and support the Good Grief Trust. I've been with Linda practically since the beginning, haven't I? And yes, I get monuments lit up on the Isle of Wight. Linda asked me to speak about how I do it. Well, all I do is find a monument, find out about it, and then find who's in charge or who owns it or whatever, ring them, explain about the Good Grief Trust, and then say, would you consider having it lit up? I'm very lucky. I have a very good lighting company that do everything free for me. They're a great bunch of guys. And so, yes, this year we're having Appledurkham House, which some of you in the past will have seen on the slides. Hopefully the Royal Yacht Squadron again. I'm looking at a new place called Apley Tower, which will be lovely, and that can be seen from the mainland. So I'm going to, and boats and things go past the ferry and things. So with the Royal Yacht Squadron, that's at Cowes, I rang Red Funnel, the ferry company, and asked them if they would explain why the squadron was lit up. So from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock, when it's lit up, they make an announcement as they go past and say about the Good Grief Trust as well. So that's a way of getting the word out there. But if anyone would like to contact me, as I say, that was my email address. I'll put it in the chat again. But it's just a case of finding somewhere that, you know, a building or a monument in your area and finding out about it and approaching the people.
You're a star. Honestly, thank you so much. Sorry, I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. It might be. No, sometimes I have an echo on mine. But yes, yeah. I said, obviously, I don't know what all monuments are in other parts of the country, but that's basically how to go about it. The worst they can say is no. The best they can say is yes. And the two that I mentioned, Appledurkham and the Squadron, are now look forward to October when I ring them and say, you know, it's time. So we need to think about planning it all. So, but you do need to find a tame lighting company. That's the only thing I would say.
Thank you so much. Well, we've reached 12 o'clock. Sorry, it sounds like I'm on echo. I have no idea why. But as I say, the recording will be on the National Grief Awareness Week website later in the week. Please do share with your network, get everyone involved this year. The slides are available to everybody. If you're again on email, if you'd like to share the slides with your organization, please do get in touch with us. The more the merrier. We want to plant the little seeds. We want to watch them grow. We want to extend the campaign into the new year and then obviously light up on the 8th of December. So thank you so much to everybody who's been involved. Thank you for all our lovely speakers for taking the time. Have a lovely afternoon and please just keep in touch with us and let us know what you're all up to. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now.